Welcome to the Daily Plunge. We are in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 26, verses 69 through 75. Peter was confident, right? He told Jesus he would be able to stand with him through thick and thin. But then they seize Jesus, take him away to the house of the high priest to be interrogated and put on trial. Jesus is asked point blank, over and over again to deny that he's the Son of God. And, Jesus affirms that he was the Lord, that he is the Lord, even though it's going to take him to the cross. The obvious point is that God cannot deny God's self. And so what happens to Jesus for not denying the Father and denying himself? Well, he's going to be crucified. Now, Peter sees what's going on. He's following from a distance. He wants to keep a safe distance. And that begs the question, do we follow Jesus at a safe distance for us? Do we want to be associated with Jesus? Peter's trying to distance himself. And so as he sees Jesus arrested, beaten, interrogated, Peter's filled with fear. He's fearful for Jesus because he's fearful of the distortions and lies that are being hurled against Jesus. He's fearful of the unraveling of all of Jesus' ministry. He's fearful that a wicked injustice is about to occur against Jesus. And Peter quickly makes the leap that if this can happen to Jesus, it's going to happen to me. And so he is fearful of the physical assault, emotional, spiritual assault on himself. And he's correct. So he's out in the courtyard, keeping his distance from Jesus, and a slave girl looks intently at him, and she questions him. He's being interrogated by a slave girl who has no power, no authority. She's a low-rung slave, and she strikes fear into his hearts. And so he won't even stand up for Jesus with a person of no power or influence. He denies any affiliation. I don't know him. I'm not one of his followers. I am not a man connected to Jesus. And people are asking him repeatedly. Other slaves are asking him. And Peter, over the course of time, is very intent on denying Jesus. Peter's more afraid of the people than he is of God. And Peter is convinced that Jesus is powerless to help him or to convict him. So he's in self-preservation mode, and the rooster crows, right? And you just have to imagine what races through his heart and mind at that time. He remembers in a split second all the miracles, all the teaching, all the wonderful times of being with Jesus, the intense love that he experienced, for Jesus, thinking about when he was walking on the water, thinking of being on the mount and seeing Jesus transformed before his eyes with Moses and Elijah. And he's crushed because Jesus called it. Jesus knew him through and through. And how devastating it must have felt to realize Jesus had no confidence in you. Jesus said, "You are not going to be able to stand with me through this night." Peter protested, but Jesus was right. And so hopelessness just swamps his heart. He's devastated, crushed. His soul is sick. He's sick in his soul. And the thing is, if Peter, think about it, because Peter has gone through this catastrophe and Jesus will restore him, right? He will now be able to strengthen the brethren, the other believers. Well, hey, thanks, friends. Have a blessed day. If you like the content of the Daily Plunge, like, share, subscribe, so we can continue doing this together. Have a blessed day.